you can see, we're going to be talking about, I guess, the MVP race so far in this current NBA season. So, with that being said, no, this is not my list. I usually try to not throw my opinions out there a lot because apparently, you guys love to argue over that stuff, which is really weird. But anyways, this is a list from NBA.com, so a professional writer gets paid thousands of dollars to do this. This is not my opinion. I will obviously be throwing in my opinions. Players who I think should be on the list, maybe not on the list. Rearrange the list. We'll talk about that, and I also hope to hear from you. So make sure you comment down below. Maybe your MVP this so far this year, an explanation why. I would love to hear your reasons why. So, other than that, yes, I did post a video yesterday. It was another one of my building a team around a random superstar type video. It was really fun. I love this type of videos. Make sure you guys check out that video if you want to. I also did a Spurs rebuild. I did that video, and then I did my anniversary video. If you haven't watched that yet, make sure you guys check back on my channel daily, or just obviously subscribe to my channel. Obviously would be the best case scenario if you want to keep up with what I'm doing. So anyways, let's slap a like on tonight's video and let's get started talking about the MVP race. Okay, so obviously we're going to be starting from number 10 going up to number 1. I'm sure there are a lot of names you could already think of that should be on the list. Some players are having some breakout years, and some players who have been doing this for years and years who are still on the top 10 list and seem like they always are. But starting out on the video with number 10, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm usually really bad at making these, so again, don't judge me too hard on my handwriting and stuff. I don't even really write a whole lot anymore. Starting out with number 10 here, though. I think from what I saw, it was a player who actually kind of surprised me. I didn't know he was actually having that great of a year, but he is on a very good team, so it kind of makes sense. But according to this article, we have Paul George, which is actually pretty surprising. Again, not a name you really would think about when tying in the name MVP, thinking about Paul George, but with someone who is arguably one of the best two-way players in the NBA, someone who is always good on defense, good on offense. Sure, maybe doesn't, always come up in the best case scenarios in the playoffs, but in the regular season, you cannot deny that Paul George is still a very good player. He's averaging almost 25 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5.5 assists, shooting always good from 3. Again, a very reliable defender. And again, on a team that is, I think, number three, third in the Western Conference standings. Yes, they are third. The Clippers are 19-8. Very good spot for them. Man, do I agree with this though? I mean, I can obviously see the list of names of people who, should also be on the list, but we'll get into those guys later. But as for right now, sure, I'll say, yeah, I think Paul George is a great player. Could he be on this list? I mean, according to seemed very unhappy, but it seems like as of recently, obviously with winning and things looking more towards how you want them to be, makes sense on how he would look a little bit better, more better body language and stuff. But Luka, like I said, struggling team. Dallas has been on a pretty good win streak. They've won 4 games in a row so far, which is really good. They're actually 9th right now in the Western Conference, so I think they were 12th or 13th not too long ago. So it's a big dip. If you lose a couple games, it's a big rise if you win a couple games. So the Western Conference is all messed up this year. It's super crazy. But with Luka Doncic right now averaging 28.5 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 9.4 assists. Yes, a almost triple-double season. Chef kiss, my God, that is almost perfect. But again, on a very struggling team, it really doesn't matter. Luka could be averaging 40 and he would still probably not be that high in this MVP race. So, I've said this before and I say it again. Luka at the start of the season was my MVP pick, and who knows, maybe if Dallas gets their act together, gets a top 4 seed, he can have some sort of like a Russell Westbrook triple-double year where it's like, oh well, he's playing so well and he's carrying this team so much and he means so much to this team. We give him MVP. It could happen, but it's a long stretch. We're barely halfway through the season, so we'll see how that goes. But Luka was my pick for MVP this year, just not really turning out the way I was looking for to it, and that's mostly due to team success. I think Luka by himself is an amazing player, but Kristaps, health protocols, injuries, things like that. The Mavs are just they're struggling very bad. They're down bad. Number 8. Also, sorry if you can hear some noises coming from outside. It's a blizzard in the Pacific Northwest. If you guys didn't know, if you guys haven't, are from around here, so far it's snowing tremendously outside. It's pretty crazy, very windy. So I very much do apologize for that. Oh wow, okay, that's actually kind of surprising. Number 8. Oops, sorry, not a pencil. I need my Sharpie pen. Is a player just like Luka. That's just struggling very hard, but doing it with a little bit more help, and that is Damian, Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, and when it comes to Damian, it really seems like, again, kind of like with what Luka's doing, team is just riddled with injuries. Again, I talk about it literally every time I have a chance. Damian right now is playing hurt, but he's still playing. Zia is out. Zach Collins is out. Yusuf Nurkic is out. We didn't have Rocco or Derek Jones Jr. for a while. Team is struggling pretty bad, and it's just really gonna come down to health for the Blazers for the rest of the year. I think CJ and Yusuf are supposed to come back within the next month or so, upcoming weeks, so that should be really good. Gary Trent Jr. has stepped up tremendously for Portland. That guy's going to get paid a lot of money, but Portland's not going to pay because he's going to get paid starter type money because he's playing so well. But Damian by himself has just been an absolute killer of a player. He's averaging nearly 30 points per game, maybe even over 30. Great assist numbers, I think the best of his career. He seems like he's starting to get that sort of like, and I'm not comparing him to Chris Paul or any of those great point guards in the NBA, or NBA history, sorry, not in the NBA, but obviously in the NBA he's one of the best, but in NBA history he's getting that sort of slowing the game down type vibes where he's starting to see things easier, get shots up easier. It's becoming more effortless for him to score. As we see in, great point guards of NBA history, we see it in Steph Curry nowadays and Kyrie Irving, like those great point guards who just seem like they can score whenever. And I think Damian's finally getting that into that zone where he's getting there. So, personally, I do think Damian does deserve to be on this ladder. I think top 10 is good. You could definitely rank him lower. That's totally fine. You can rank him higher. That's totally fine. I think he just deserves to be top 10. I think Luka does as well. Paul George, we'll get into that. But I think so far this list is pretty good. The order mix them up, but I think these two players are definitely set in stone for arguably the most popular player of this generation, and it makes a lot of sense that there's going to be a lot of fans of him. Do I think Steph Curry deserves to be on this list? Yes, I do. Yes, I'm not stupid. Steph's averaging actually exactly 30 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists. Having very, 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 very good numbers. And the Warriors are doing fine. They're the 8th seed right now in the Western Conference, which a lot of people said they would be higher. A lot of people thought they would be lower after the season they started out with, but so far they're very normal. They're playing very normal right now, and this was without Wiseman, with a lot of other sort of protocols and injuries here and there. I think they don't even have a player over 6'7" playing right now, which is super crazy. So I've said this before and I'll say this again, the Warriors will go as far as Steph Curry can carry them. Can it be a playoff spot? Yes. Could it be all the way back down in the lottery? Yes. It just depends on how well Steph Curry can play, and that's how far they'll go. They could even sneak into a 5th, 4th seed. To be honest, that team's looking really well, playing really well. They're starting to get their sort of cogs rolling, and it's looking really good over there in the Warriors. But again, health is just the thing that needs to, go off for them. At number 6, and that also might be kind of low for some people, but I actually think it's not bad, especially for how struggling the Warriors were at the beginning of the year. That's actually not a bad spot for Steph Curry. I do rank him above Dame. I do. I think I do also rank him above Luka. Steph right now is just playing very well, and I think it's really showing up for sure. Let's see. At number 6, we have. Oh God, do we have room for this? I don't know. And when I say that, you know what player I'm gonna write. I might have to write extra small. Almost perfect amount of space, but you probably can't see that because it's probably too small. But it is Giannis Antetokounmpo at number 6. Wow. So dude is back-to-back MVPs. There's never been a back-to-back MVP since the Larry Bird GOAT era of basketball, and he was definitely the most talented player in the NBA. Won back-to-back MVPs in the 80s. Could we see it again with Giannis? I think yes. Yes, we could, obviously. And I think if Giannis wasn't already a back-to-back MVP winner, I think he would be a lot higher up on this list, because the Bucks are actually doing a lot better than what I at least thought when I remembered. The Bucks right now, I think, are second in the East. They're second in the East, 2 games back of the number 1 seed, so basically almost on the same pace as they were last year. And Giannis right now did struggle a lot at the beginning of the year, but he's still averaging 28 points per game, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Still a great perimeter defender, could still be up for Defensive Player of the Year. I think, again, if Giannis wasn't already a back-to-back MVP winner, he would be probably top 3 maybe, in my opinion. But again, it's kind of hard to do that when you already won it so many times. They can't just hand these out, as you guys know, with LeBron. LeBron can win it every year, but they just don't do that to great players. So Giannis is going to have to start getting that treatment, it seems. It's kind of sad. Number 5. Now we're in the top 5 zone, maybe. We're in the big boys. Well, I guess they're all big boys, but yeah. Let's see who they have at number 5. Number 5, they have... Ooh, okay. This one is actually a little bit of an underrated pick. Could be higher, could be lower, who knows, but... we have Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard at forwards, the guards, even some big mans like Kawhi and Giannis will guard the best players in the NBA. Well, sometimes Giannis doesn't, obviously with the Nets that one game, but we'll just scratch that. But with Kawhi, it's him every night on both ends, and that's super crazy. Sure, you can knack him for resting or this, that, and the other. Not a good shooter, but this dude's still averaging nearly, almost. You can round up to 30 points per game. Still a pretty good facilitator, obviously with almost 5 assists and 2 steals a game. Like, this dude is just absolutely killing it still. I said this before, and I say this again. The Clippers are still my pick for winning the title this year. I think they're glued. I think they're locked in. I think they're ready. I think they are determined from what happened last year to win a title this year. So I think they're my lock-in pick so far for the title still. They're looking very good. And Kawhi leading the way. He's just such a good player on both ends. It's absolutely insane. Again, could be maybe even higher up on this list. At number four, we have here. Ooh, okay. This guy you can definitely argue top 3, and actually, I need to see who's number 3. If number 3 is who I think it is, I might move this player up one, but at number 4 we have Kevin Durant. At 4, man, that is just, that might be a little bit disrespectful to Kevin Durant because of just how well he's been playing this year. It's crazy because the dude is, constantly in and out of the sort of protocol that they have, and also coming off an Achilles injury. Like, the dude is still buzzing people's butts and putting up 29.5 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists a game. Like, dude, that's absolutely crazy. Again, I think KD could rank a little bit higher up on this list, but he is on the most stacked NBA team we've seen probably since the Golden State Warriors days a couple years ago, obviously with Kyrie and James Harden. Plus, he's been out a lot, so it's kind of hard to rank these numbers when a couple of these other guys have a couple more games under their belts. So, it's really hard to sort of see where Kevin Durant lies because a lot of things are sort of iffy, but as we've seen him played, he's still a great player, Kevin Durant. So that alone probably gets him in top 5 by himself. But coming in at number 3, I'm actually very much intrigued to see who this is, because if it is who I think it is, KD might actually be up higher on my list. Oh man, actually I don't know. That's still a good player, but at number 3 we have the Joker himself, Nikola Jokic. At number 3, the thing is about this one, I thought he wasn't averaging a lot of more than what he was, but he's averaging 27 points per game, 11 rebounds, nearly 9 assists, and 2 steals a game. Jokic is. So, I was going to say, if it was Jokic, which I guessed right, it was Jokic, but I was going to flip KD for Jokic in my own little bracket, but man, Jokic is actually balling out right now. I'm actually kind of surprised. I didn't know he was playing so well. Right now, the Nuggets are in 7th in the West. Oh, actually, you know what? I might put KD over Jokic. Oh man, I don't know. It's not my list. Right now, the Nuggets are 7th. They struggled a lot early on in the season. They're right now on a 2-game win streak, which is really nice to see because, again, they're starting to pick up more wins, starting to play a little bit more together, a little bit more healthier. They still have, a pretty good team. They're not as deep, but they have very good top talent, which is always great to see. But I also think Jokic is just really hitting his prime right now. I think he's about 25, 26. He's about to hit his prime, and it's really starting to show in his play. And his IQ is just, bro, his IQ is like off the charts. Like, it's getting up there with like the greats already in today's NBA. Like, that guy's absolutely insane with how good he is with the ball in his hand. That was really nasty too. I'm very sorry. Okay, guys, here comes top 2, and I think you guys know who top 2 is. If you're a valid watcher of the NBA, not a casual, you know who the top 2 are. It just matters with which which sort of position you put them in. But at number 2 on this list, no, this is not my list, but this list, the NBA official list, it is actually Joel the Process M. It's double I, right? Yeah, double I. Joel the Process Embiid. Joel Embiid. Wow, do I agree with this? Man, I am very much intrigued. He's averaging 29 points per game, 11 rebounds, nearly 1.5 blocks a game, and 1.5 steals a game. Oh man, this is very tough. Embiid is just having a great season and a very healthy season. I'm knocking on wood 10,000 times for that. Not trying to jinx it, but he is. He's having a very good, normal big man season, and that's what we've been waiting for Joel Embiid to do for the past 2-3 years, it feels like. So, if he can keep this up, and the Sixers play this good, and, obviously with Ben Simmons needs to pull a little bit extra weight, and he played good against Portland the other night, but that was just a crazy game from Portland that sort of kept them in. But if Ben Simmons can keep that sort of play up, everyone else can sort of rally around them. I think Joel Embiid has a better chance of winning MVP than we all think. So, even though he's number 2 right now, he could arguably be number 1. But before we get to number 1, we're going to talk about some other players who I think should maybe be on this list, and maybe you do as well. But one for me would be, obviously Paul George being on this list. Meh. I mean, yeah, that's a cool one, but Jason Tatum is a great name you could put on this list. Donovan Mitchell, great name you could put on this list. Even Kyrie Irving, who I think is almost averaging 30 points per game, could be on this list. Let's see. I mean, you could throw in Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, absolutely a great player. Oh, who else? I'm trying to look at team names right now. I think those are really the only players I would think of. Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Bradley Beal, and I think I just left one out, but I don't really remember who. My apologies. I don't remember who. What else I say? Oh, Kyrie Irving. Yeah, Kyrie Irving would also be a pretty good one, but again, he's sort of in and out all the time. Boston sort of wishy-washy a lot of the time as well. And Donovan Mitchell, I don't think really has the sort of staple in the NBA yet to put, on the list for MVP. Actually, you know what? I'm putting Donovan Mitchell over Paul George. No offense to Paul George fans out there, but I'm putting Donovan Mitchell at number 10, or even just on the list. I think is fair, but I actually think this list is fairly fair so far. I think you could obviously switch any of these players in any sort of order. I think the top 5 is pretty set in stone. Maybe you can sneak in Giannis over one of these players for sure, but I think these guys outside looking in the top 5 are safe. And then maybe you could throw out maybe a Jokic for Giannis, or Curry for Kawhi, or whatever which way. But I think these 3 going out, top 5, I think are pretty safe. But at number 1, obviously we haven't even gotten to that yet. It's pretty easy. It is LeGoat James, or the Mickey Mouse, whatever which way you want to look at it. LeBron, who just put on a spectacular show late in the game against Memphis, which that was a pretty crazy game in my opinion. Let's see what he's doing so far this year. He's averaging 25.5 points per game, 7.9 rebounds, and 7.9 assists. So basically 25, 8, and 8 right now for LeBron this year. And I think he's also averaging the lowest points per game in his entire career, which is just absolutely insane. Right now, the LA Lakers are the 2nd seed in the NBA Western Conference. They are on a 7 game win streak for the LA Lakers. My God, that is just so crazy how well this team has just been well kept, well put together. Even though it's arguably one of Anthony Davis' worst year in the NBA. I don't know what's happening to Anthony Davis. Let's hope he can just save up that energy for the playoffs, because he's really going to need to be there. The Lakers can't play like this and win a title, I'll tell you that. If the Lakers play like they are right now, they won't win a title. AD needs to step up. Kuzma is playing a lot better than he did last year, which is really nice to see. Schroeder, pretty meh. Harrell, pretty pretty meh. Marc Gasol, you guys look like clowns for trading JaVale McGee away from Marc Gasol. That's just the worst fit of a player you could have on a team. But other than that, I think the players around LeBron are really good. And in my opinion, I think right now, I think LeBron is also my pick for MVP. I think LeBron, Embiid, and Durant are my top picks right now. And then dark horse, Kawhi, and then maybe Steph could be dark horses. I don't think Giannis, they won't give out 3 MVPs in a row. That just, Giannis would have to be like absolutely dominating, like super duper #1 seed. You'd have to put up crazy numbers. Like, I don't think Giannis is going to be able to do that this year. And Jokic, I think, is just not there yet. I think he could win an MVP, but he's still pretty young in his career. I think he's fine. But I think those are my top picks so far for MVP. And then again, for my top 10, I think Paul George is good. I think I'm putting Donovan Mitchell in there, obviously, with being on a Utah Jazz. That's just on a roll. Utah is just on a roll. So I think I'm going to switch out Paul George for Donovan. And then, yeah, I think the top 10 is pretty set in stone, in my opinion. Again, you can throw in like a Tatum or a Kyrie. That'd be fine too. But I actually really like this. So, yeah, that is the top 10 NBA ladder for MVP so far in the NBA season. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, if you like this video, make sure you like this video. Also do subscribe to my channel and just come back daily. I'm usually busting out content. So other than that, I will see you again